So by having factories on the moon, building AI satellites, and having a mass driver, which is the kind of thing you really only learn about or read about in science fiction, but we're going to make it real. We're actually going to have a mass driver on the moon. And if you do that, you can go several orders of magnitude greater. You can go to 1,000 gigawatts or more per year, and ultimately get to maybe a millionth and then 1,000th, and maybe even a few percent of the sun's energy. It's difficult to imagine what an intelligence of that scale would think about. Welcome to the XAI All Hands. We've got a very exciting presentation for you. We're going to start off by recapping the incredible progress that the XAI team has made in just 2.5 years. It's really remarkable in pursuit of our goal of understanding the universe. So just going over our accomplishments since inception, it's important to bear in mind that XAI is only 2.5 years old, basically a toddler. And we've nonetheless achieved an incredible amount in a very short period of time. So our competitors are 5, 10, in some cases 20 years old. They have much larger teams. They started off with far more resources, and yet nonetheless, we have achieved #1 in many arenas in just a few years. So we've achieved #1 in voice, in image and video generation. I think we now at this point are actually generating more images and video based on the last numbers I saw than all of our competitors combined. We are winning in terms of forecasting, which is one of the key metrics of intelligence. So the Grok 420 forecasting model beat all the other AIs in forecasting. And we've topped many leaderboards. We've got now a great app with Imagine, with the core Grok. We've made radical improvements to the X app. And we've launched a Grokopedia, which is on its way to far exceeding Wikipedia and will ultimately be orders of magnitude more comprehensive and more accurate and have more information as well as video and image data that simply isn't there on Wikipedia. So it's intended ultimately to be Encyclopedia Galactica, a distillation of all knowledge all knowledge. And we're the first to achieve 100,000 H100 GPU training cluster, and we're now about to achieve the first 1 million H100 GPU equivalents in training. So really an incredible amount of work in a very short period of time. And it's important to consider competitiveness of any technology company. What matters is not the position at any point in time, but what is your velocity and acceleration. And if you're moving faster than anyone else in any given technology arena, you will be the leader. And XAI is moving faster than any other company. No one's even close. So let's go to our team. As we grow as a company, a natural thing that happens is you reorganize the company as it scales up. So when you first have a startup, you might have just a few dozen people and they'd all just chat amongst themselves. As you grow to several hundred people, you have to then add more structure, just like an organism that grows from a single, like we all just grew from a single cell and then to a blob of cells, and then you get organ differentiation, limbs, you grow a tail, hopefully the tail disappears, and then you become a baby, you go through these stages. And so we're organizing, because we've reached a certain scale, we're organizing the company to be more effective at this scale. Now, naturally, when this happens, there's some people who are better suited for the early stages of a company and less suited for the later stages. And so, for the people that have departed, I'd just like to say thank you for your contribution. Thank you for getting us this far, and we wish you very well in your future endeavors. So now, going on to the new structure of the company is organized in 4 main application areas. There's Grok main and voice, which is really the main Grok model. That's why it's called Grok main. Then there's a coding specific model. There's an image and video model, which is Imagine. And then macro hard, which is intended to do full digital emulation of entire companies. And then we've got the infrastructure layers. With the Grok main, the sort of main foundation model, the intent is that it's genuinely useful in a wide range of areas. So if you're doing engineering or law or medicine, anything, it is useful to you in your job. That's essential to understanding the universe and making things as useful as possible. Like when Grok gives you an answer that you can count on it. I think actually things will move, maybe even by the end of this year, to where you don't even bother doing coding. The AI just creates the binary directly. And the AI can create a much more efficient binary than can be done by any compiler. So just say, create optimized binary for this particular outcome, and you actually bypass even traditional coding. That's an intermediate step that actually will not be needed, probably by, I'd say, the end of this year. And we do expect Grok code to be state-of-the-art in 2 to 3 months, so it's happening very quickly. Most of AI compute is going to be real-time video understanding and real-time video generation, and we expect to be the leaders in that. It's worth emphasizing these points that 6 months ago we didn't even have we had basically nothing or very weak in video and image generation and editing, and we went in 6 months to #1 spot, and in fact, generating more videos and images than everyone else combined. We're going to do the same thing with coding, and we're going to do the same thing with macro hard, and I think people will be pretty impressed with the Grok 4.2 model that's coming out. It's a significant improvement, and that's really just that's the small version of our new model. So we will have a medium and a large version that are even more intelligent. Yeah, the macro hard project is over time actually will probably be our most important project, because what we're talking about is emulation of entire human companies. So when you look at the most valuable companies in the world, their output is digital. So they don't actually make hardware. So it should be possible to completely emulate any company where the output is digital. And this will usher in an age of prosperity the likes of which we can barely imagine at this point. You need to imagine it. So this is a big deal, and this is why the words macro hard are painted on the roof of the training cluster, because that's what it's going to build. So
it's also pretty funny.
Yeah, meant to be a joke. I'd like to say, we're shifting from using these sort of common internet evals, which I think are actually not a real indicator of usefulness, to having expert tutors in each domain. So every domain of engineering, medicine, law, whatever the case may be. And the actual eval is, does the expert in that arena, or does our group of experts in that arena, human experts, agree that Grok is extremely useful and that the results are correct? That's actually the only eval that really matters. Fundamental to any AI company's success is the compute advantage. And what we've demonstrated over and over again is that XAI can actually deploy more AI compute faster than anyone else. And actually, as Jensen Huang, CEO of NVIDIA, has said many times in interviews, there is no one faster at getting AI compute online than XAI. So congratulations, guys. Yeah, this is what it looks like. So that's really phase 1, which is 330,000 Grace Blackwells with macro hard written on the building. That's not an image edit. It actually is on the roof of the building. And then macro harder will be the building that you can see, which has got the macro harder with the rockets on it. And that'll be another 220,000 GB300s. So all of this will be training the models that you experience. So it's absolutely fundamental, obviously, to have large-scale training compute in order to get the best models. Yeah, I'm sort of reminded of the Jose meme, where you see one guy digging and there's like 7 people watching. And one of the big differences between XAI and other companies is we are actually Jose. Yep. And yeah, so we've evolved what used to be the old Twitter DM stack, which was unencrypted, basically just text, to a fully encrypted messaging system that allows you to do audio and video calls, has all the things you'd want from any messaging app, the disappearing messages, screenshot blocks, like there's all the features that you'd want in an app. We will be open sourcing the code for this in the next few months, as we are open sourcing the recommendation algorithm code, so people can actually see what we're doing Nothing beats transparency for believing in a company. So we're going to be the only recommendation algorithm that actually open sources, so you can see what it does and how it's evolving. With Grok Chat, it will also be open source, so you can actually see if there are any vulnerabilities. There will be no hooks for advertising or anything else like that in Grok Chat, which is really intended to be a generalized communication system. And in the next few months, we'll be releasing a standalone XChat app. So if you just want to do messaging, you can do that. You don't have to go to the core product. And it will have desktop sharing and multi-user, so you can do video calls with lots of people. It's really intended to be a fully functional communication system with XChat. For X Money, we actually had X Money live in closed beta within the company, and we expect in the next month or two to go to a limited external beta, and then to go worldwide to all X users. And this is really intended to be the place where all the money is, the central source of all monetary transactions. So it's really going to be a game changer. And the reason we say 1 billion users, actually over 1 billion users, is that while our monthly users are on average around 600 million, the number of people who have the X app installed is well over 1 billion. It's just that most people only occasionally come to the X app when there's some major world event. But as we give people more reasons to use the X app, whether it's for communications, for Grok, or for X Money, whatever the case may be, we want it to be such that if you want to, you could live your life on the X app. And as we make it more and more useful, we'll obviously give people reasons, compelling reasons to use the app every day and have, my expectation is, well over 1 billion daily active users. So now, in order to understand the universe, you must explore the universe. There's only so much you can learn from just being on Earth. With telescopes and colliders on Earth, ultimately, you have to go out there and you have to explore the universe to understand it. And that's the motivation behind the combination of SpaceX and XAI, is to accelerate humanity's future in understanding the universe and extending the light of consciousness to the stars. So in the grand scheme of things, when you look at how much energy Earth is actually using for civilization, we're only right now using, quote, roughly 1% of the potential energy of Earth. And if we wanted to use even 1/1,000,000th of the sun's energy, that would be roughly 1,000,000 times more energy than civilization currently uses. The only way to access that energy, the energy of the sun, is to extend beyond Earth. Earth is really a tiny, tiny dust mote in a vast darkness. The sun is 99.8% of all mass in the solar system. So you have to expand beyond the tiny dust mote that is Earth to make any significant dent in using the sun's energy. Like I said, you'd have to expand roughly 1,000,000 times just to get to 1/1,000,000th of our sun's energy, and then going beyond that, extending to the galaxy, and maybe someday even to other galaxies. So the next step beyond Earth data centers is our Earth-orbital data centers. And we'll be launching with SpaceX orbital data centers at the 100 to 200 gigawatt per year level. Not cumulative, I mean per year. And ultimately, we see a path to maybe launching as much as 1 terawatt per year of compute from Earth. What if you want to go beyond a mere terawatt per year? In order to do that, you have to go to the moon. So by having factories on the moon, building AI satellites, and having a mass driver, which is the kind of thing you really only learn about or read about in science fiction, but we're going to make it real. We're actually going to have a mass driver on the moon. And if you do that, you can go several orders of magnitude greater. You can go to 1,000 gigawatts or more per year, and ultimately get to maybe 1,000,000th, and then 1,000th, and maybe even a few % of the sun's energy. It's difficult to imagine what an intelligence of that scale would think about, but it's going to be incredibly exciting to see it happen. I really want to see the mass driver on the moon that is shooting AI satellites into deep space. It's going like shoom, shoom, just one after the other. I can't imagine anything more epic than a mass driver on the moon and a self-sustaining city on the moon, and then going beyond the moon to Mars, going throughout our solar system, and ultimately being out there among the stars and visiting all these star systems. Maybe we'll meet aliens. Maybe we'll see some civilizations that lasted for millions of years, and we'll find the remnants of ancient alien civilizations. But the only way we're going to do that is if we go out there and we explore. And this is the path to making it happen. Thank you.